It's the NFL on EA Sports. And we'll see Brock Bowers. He's going to be a busy man in the passing game. It's the Raiders and the Dolphins. And it comes your way next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. Here is Tua Tagovailoa heading out to lead this Miami offense.
And you've got to think that they've got to be feeling pretty fresh. You know, coming off of the open week, didn't have to play, right? Gives them a chance to rest up a little bit, heal some of those aches and pains, and excited about playing again. That really rekindles things a little bit. I want to see how they come out and establish themselves here early.
And that bye week coming right where they want it, in the middle of the schedule. Throwing to start here is Tua. He'll dump this off to H.M. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Here's Tua. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's you get a sense of what this game plan might be. They think they can take a few home run shots against this defense. They tried it there on the opening drive, but that ball's incomplete.
It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And they will be led out by their 2nd-year quarterback.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
You talk about this Miami defense.
We know they're going to be tough to throw on. Top 3 in the NFL defending the pass.
They may be ranked 3rd against the pass in the league, but they're the best that I've seen so far. Sometimes the numbers don't tell the full story.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
On third down, he'll drop to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. First down, here's Mitchell.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
The Raiders at 6-2 to start play. They come in playing really well on both sides of the ball. They've won 6 of their last 8 CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd down and 8.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Briggs. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up third downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you, it started in the offseason. Third down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
Give running right is Mitchell. Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line.
Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphins shaken up on the play. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Right back to Mitchell here.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, there's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Briggs. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins 16. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse.
And that is caught. Touchdown,
Brock
Bowers with touchdown number 7 on the year.
And the Raiders will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game.
That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Dolphins offense and their quarterback coming out for their second drive. And he's been a real threat in the red zone and beyond. As you take a look at the NFL leaders in rushing touchdowns by a QB, you'll notice he's worked his way into the top 5 at this point in the season. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
On the ground, this is Devon Achane. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. You look at this Raiders defense. They were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And all defensive teams that I know talk about creating turnovers. Takeaways, they call them. And anytime you can get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really, really good performance. They exceeded that number in a big way.
They'll run for it with Achane. Down the numbers. There he goes. Inside the 10. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devon Achane with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from drawing level. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Looking to throw. Carney. He finds his man. Complete. That's Briggs. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big play that time on the catch and run. And the Raiders are going to get a new set of downs.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
From the gun, a give to Mitchell. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Under a minute to go, clock running in a back-and-forth first quarter of play. On 1st down, they go back to Mitchell. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. 50 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Jordan Brooks on the tackle. These two teams all tied after 1. Second quarter from Vegas. The homestanding Raiders with a football here as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Back to throw. Carney. That's complete into the hands of Myers.
Short completion, just 4 yards. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Raiders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Looking to throw. Carney toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on 1st down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Here's a give up the middle.
And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down.
Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
They'll try again. Pushing for the end zone, but he's not going to get there. They stop him just shy of the goal line. Now we get a stoppage because a member of the Raiders shaken up on that one. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this.
A field goal would break the tie, but look at this. Instead, they're going to go for it on 4th and goal. They'll try and run for it. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Punching it in from a yard away.
And the Raiders' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Well, this defense held out as long as they could, but ultimately the running game wears them down from the 1-yard line.
And that gets set up throughout the entire drive, doesn't it? And when you put those big bodies and determination into that carry, the end result, touchdown.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. Dolphins offense returning to the field. As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
Off of play action, Tagovailoa.
They'll swing this out wide. Here's Achane.
Be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on 1st down. They're ahead of the chains now.
Play action, now it's Tua.
This one complete to Jalen Waddle.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 26. That one goes for 24 yards.
Brandon, what's even more impressive is that came against double coverage. He gashed them with that reception, even with the extra focus that he drew from the defense.
Tua sets up to pass it. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Tua setting up shop to throw again.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact. But in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well. Incomplete.
On third down, Achane. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Devon Achane with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Dolphins are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Defensively, they were in the 3-4, and that O-line just dominated the D-line there.
Let's go with a verbal telestrator here because that D-line has a nose over the center, and it has a two defensive ends over the offensive tackles. That means the guards don't have anyone over the top of them. That creates a natural bubble inside where they sprint upfield, take on the inside linebackers, and if the back hits it fast enough, there should be space to run.
A gain of 3, second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Bowers. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 35. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
2nd and 5. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 14. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
2nd and 6 from the 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7 as that one officially a loss of 1.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Operating from the gun, Carney. And it is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Jacoby Myers, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Raiders have moved out in front. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. Devon Achane of the offense ready to go once again.
Now he's having himself a little bit of a banner game. His team right now, though, losing.
Needs a little bit of help, and I kind of equate it to a basketball game where you have the big score, and sometimes your strategy is, okay, he can go ahead and have all of his points. Let's hold down everyone else, and that's the way you win the game. And right now, he needs everyone else to start scoring, quote-unquote, as he's been.
Yeah, and he's hoping to keep it close so maybe they can keep it on the ground, not start to go through the air as much.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
You still hold your breath a little as a defense when Tua gets out of the pocket. You're worried about him scrambling and getting a first down. But there, he made the wise call. If there's nothing downfield, just throw it away.
A run straight ahead with Achane.
And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on fourth down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll punt it away for the second time.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
So not just running into the punter, but roughing the punter.
And I'm struggling with this one. You know, you're watching it,
Automatic
partner.
first down.
Is it more the first rather than the latter? This is a tough one. Almost feels like he felt like he had to call it on that play.
A lack of discipline defensively on fourth down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. Here's Tagovailoa to throw.
Open man downfield is Waddle. He's got it.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. And again, it's Tagovailoa. And that is incomplete. The Raider defense strong on that one in coverage, and now it's 4th.
Tight defense there on 3rd down, but what a product of good coaching and even better execution because he realized he's in field goal range. No sense forcing anything, and he made sure he didn't.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Oh, a good return up past the 30.
Now that should give him a spark. He's across the 40 to the 43.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
And with decent starting field position, there may be only a couple completions away from field goal range.
Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
Operating from the gun, Carney. That's to Bowers once again. And he's got some space here. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses
This is over out of bounds. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it, so on comes the field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. Carlson able to put this one through, and they will open their lead up to a touchdown at 24-17. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. So we have reached halftime here in Vegas with the Raiders on top. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thank you.
Halftime over, no problem with us. We skip right to the third quarter and continue this midseason contest. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Raiders offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. Off play action. Carney. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Carney. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
From the 43, here's a 2nd down and 9. Back to throw. Carney. Throw left side complete. That's Briggs. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a 1st down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Second and 13. Completes it to Austin.
And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
From the gun on 3rd down. Carney. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins. Three. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. 53 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times. They run over center with Mitchell.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
2nd and 10.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. On the right side, this is Austin with a catch. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up.
We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. Two yards still to go. 3rd down now. And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the first down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. He had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Looking to throw. Carney. This is caught. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
A gain of 6 yards. Brings up 4th down and goal.
They'll try and run for it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Raiders take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. And that touchdown's going to put him in double digits now for the year. It's his 10th rushing touchdown of the campaign. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a two-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Tua getting it quickly out to Waddle. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Tua going to throw. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle, 71 yards. And the Dolphins are back within a score. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was finished off by a Jalen Waddle touchdown. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Raiders offense and their running back getting ready to go back. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. Trey Brown there on the stop.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them. Melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, and try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
First and 10 at the 38-yard line.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's the Raiders with a lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He finds his man, complete. It's Briggs. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Second down and a yard. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Back to throw now on first down. Short throw caught by Bowers. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. Back to throw. Carney. Open man is Myers. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And now 2 yards to go on third down.
That's the game of 7. Makes it 3rd and 2.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. From the gun, he'll hand this off. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Down to about the 37. That's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground. Keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
This a 2nd and 7 from the 37. Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. This to make it a 2-score game. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt, and that will extend their lead even further. So that CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Tua. And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Max Crosby blowing up the play and getting the sack.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. But they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. And he'll hit the deck, but he did not get there. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there, trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough.
4th down, 4th quarter. Here's Tua.
He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position.
The home team's offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And he's had his fair share of troubles in this one, unfortunately. This defensive front has wreaked havoc throughout the contest, and he hasn't been able to create enough space to make something positive happen to this point.
Throwing to start the drive. Carney. He finds his man. Complete. That's Myers.
And he'll get positive yardage there as he'll be touched down.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
That's a play to applaud because these RPOs, things happen so quickly. And that ball's out of the quarterback's hands fast. He read it and reacted and was there to hit him as the ball arrived at the receiver. Big-time read, big-time play.
On 4th down, Carney.
He's got the hook up here. It's Myers.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. Keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on 1st down.
And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7.
A shotgun handoff to Mitchell.
And they're going to drop him well shy of the 1st as he can only make it to the 11th. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that not just important in the fact that it widens their lead, but really that was a textbook job of just hanging on to the football.
And we know all the time that coaches talk about time of possession. Sometimes it's a stat that doesn't matter much, but in this drive...
Now on the return, oh no, the ball is loose. And the Raiders pick it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Again, it's Henry. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
And here comes throw number one for the backup QB. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's fourth down.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
The kick by Carlson is good.
So the big return had him fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out. They only muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a first down.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line.
So Tua and the Dolphins down by 16. A little under a minute to go. Their 4-game winning streak in great danger.
Throwing Tua. The pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down. Here's second down. Now Tua. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Here's Tua.
Flushed out right. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. One final try for Tagovailoa. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40.
A higher scoring game, Charles, than we typically see in the National Football League. But fun to watch these offenses. They were really clicking. It seemed like everything that they dialed up worked.
Yeah, it certainly was fun to watch from our perspective. How'd you like to be those defensive coaches, though? That wasn't a blast for them at all. And let's face it, they all game plan, they all scout, they all think they're prepared. But executing and stopping teams, that's another matter entirely.
So for the Raiders, the win will move them to 7-2 now on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for Miami, they'll lose an important one here as that drops them to 5-4 on the season. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.